Yes, hi Trixie. This is Gabriel Mesker, and I hope you can see my face okay. Um, yeah, it's interesting. I like this component with the screencast-o-matic, trying to do a personal message and talk about relevant things that are happening in the class. So I'll go to my notebook and then try to talk through my ideas. So the first one you had was reflect on the response to the different scenarios and if I would change anything. So I'll start with, this is case study 3. I'll just start with the third one. This was the one case study where I think maybe the guidelines for the students wasn't really what they were, the group assignment. It seems like they're not really. Carl wasn't really aware of what was he supposed to be doing, and I'm not so sure if they were explicit enough for the class. So that was my thing. I liked what in this case Fisher uh, posted, was that getting all the students communicating again on the same level, and then kind of going back to the beginning of the course, how to communicate to each other, and then to find out if it was any of the teacher's responsibility. In this case, I would have accepted the responsibility of like not communicating properly, or setting the expectations, the assignment correctly. I don't mind taking the blame for, or not taking the blame, but for accepting that I need to have a presence. That was the big thing in the literature, was having that, I'm there for I have to have show my presence so we can actually take the ideas and take them somewhere. Cognitive presence, which I thought was pretty interesting in the different readings we had, which I'll talk about in a second. But I want to let Carl know, and the other students know in this case, that yeah, I expect this from each student, and is it clear? If it's not clear, I can work individually with each student and go from there, so everyone's clear and before we can move on. So it's okay if the course gets stuck. I think that's the part where you need to, um, reevaluate what you're doing as a teacher, because it's not going anywhere. Let's see if I can show you the other one. I think you know all of these case studies. Let's see if it still goes. The case study 2. Oh, okay. So this was the one student who's having problems with the site and like what's expected, like finding things on the site, like the syllabus, goals. So I would uh, I would approach Wesley just like and in this case, this is the Rivera's post. Uh, I like that a lot of teachers just are, yeah, actually, it's not Rivera I read first, but it's, I have to get his name. Okay, it's Jacques. Jacques, where's his? I really liked his reply. Um, if you can see here, getting the rundown from the kid's perspective. I liked his letter, especially saying that, basically opening the lines of communication, so you can explain the site, where things are, so you don't feel totally lost. Because online learning is a lot different than face to face. So it may be frustrating to feel like you start a course and you're just alone. So and again, that points back to the good readings we had, where the teacher's presence has to be felt in the course. And I actually think the teacher's presence should be felt a lot, either by posts or by their involvement in discussions. I think the teacher actually should involve themselves in the discussions as a participant, even though they are the teacher. Uh, I think this could enrich the conversation and make it more like of a collaborative class. Whereas it's just like a dictating class, which I don't think is always that great, of course, but a collaborative class where the teacher points out new things to learn and points out where students are succeeding. I think that would be a really great engagement and great way of teaching. The first case was kind of a little bit weird, where the parent wrote the teacher about a late assignment, but I wasn't sure. I just addressed it like Jacques, it's JAC QUES. I would approach it just like the student, just because I would actually invite a face-to-face conversation at the school for a high school level. I'll talk on the phone, but I really would recommend a face-to-face conversation to talk about online classes and the benefits of them, and how I think they could enhance and better a student's future, and not be and make the parent feel more comfortable with having an online course that their son or daughter may be involved in, and just connect the school with the parent. Maybe the parent would enjoy at least getting to know one teacher. So that's really important to me. At least getting to know one teacher is good for a parent at a high school, especially in America, where you just feel like, oh, it just has a bunch of teachers and there's no real contact. Like on computer face to face or a phone. I think face to face on a computer can be really helpful and really good, just because people live busy lives. So let me get back to your questions. Your notebook. Okay. Based on the readings, please make sure to make a reference. Okay. Yeah, because I missed Zoom. I did watch the Zoom. It looked pretty interesting, seeing everyone on the screen at the same time. I really enjoy. This is the community of inquiry, and I got into the questions of social presence. I thought that was pretty interesting, but this one I like the most. We have the educational experience, the cognitive presence of the teacher, always there to, and this one is the Anad article. But the main thing I want to talk about is social presence of the teacher and the student. And I think that the teaching style the teacher should make its presence known in the course, either by collaborating on assignments or even doing, I think even doing like co-assignments with students. It's kind of like a student relationship, but it can be like a mentor student, which I think is really exciting and much more engaging. and it may lessen the anxiety of student and teacher. So what was interesting here is that should be a two-way communication between the student and instructor for distance learning, and there need to be a sustained dialogue that was integral and interwoven throughout the framework. Then you had this they had this figure here, but yeah, so we have the social presence of the students interacting with each other, and the teacher's presence interacting with them. But I think from my other courses, I think that I had one course, social theory, social activism, and I really liked it because he sent podcasts to me, and then I could send podcasts back to him. I felt like he was always kind of there, observing what I had done, and I felt more connected with him. So this was just on an MP3 podcast level. I think at least that was good. I would like a video kind of like this I would like this better actually. So you can comment on the students' progress or on their assignment, or on their progress on a discussion that you're having on the literature. I think the literature can be much more interesting if you can I guess you can actually draw pictures on I know there's applications for the PC for drawing pictures and graphics. I think that's really very exciting and more fluid than most of the courses I've taken. So I guess that would have to be on your website, the ability to do that. But it just has to be on your PC actually, because there's Microsoft Paint, which is really fun, and you can help explain abstract ideas much better. Let's see. Let me get back to. Let's go on 12 minutes. So that one I liked was the Asan. I really enjoyed this one, which was the C. Let's see. Let me get back to the writer. Okay, so this was the educational drama. I thought this was quite good because I felt it was very engaging, because there was specific actions that you had to take. Let's see, what were the three? One was C. Okay, yeah, the C, say and share on a student level with each other. I thought that could be really good. The things that you see, that are happening in a particular chapter, say something about those, your observations, and then share your feelings on the subject. But I think the teacher could also get involved on this too. So I think the idea of mentorship by the professor and the students is really exciting, and I would like to incorporate that in my class, even though I don't really like Weebly that much. So that one's for that. And hello, Trixie. Sorry, you get any coffee? Okay. Let's see. Let me get the last one from the notepad. Okay. The communication policy. I would copy other courses where the communication has to be free of insults, bad language. You have to respect others. When you're writing comments to each other, especially if it's on a board, like the one in this case, the different case studies. I actually started posting comments to other students because that's what I'd done in other classes, but the language has to be appropriate. I can't put down